Have you ever felt like you were trying your hardest, but you were still falling behind? That is exactly how 12-year-old David felt. On the soccer field, he was a star, full of energy and confidence.
But the moment he opened his math book, he felt defeated. He looked at his friend Matt, who solved problems effortlessly, and wondered, why can't I be like him? One afternoon, David's father saw the sadness in his son's eyes. He took him into their quiet garden and gave him 3 unusual challenges.
This isn't just a story about homework or sports.
It is a story about discovering that your greatest weakness might just be a strength. Waiting for the right passion. Let's step into David's world and uncover the secret to mastering anything you set your mind to.
In a quiet corner of a busy city, there lived a family who loved peace and simplicity. In this house lived a 12-year-old boy named David. David was full of life. He was the kind of boy who couldn't sit still.
If you were looking for him, you wouldn't find him inside watching television. You would find him at the nearby park, his feet moving fast against the green grass, chasing a soccer ball. Soccer was his world. When he played, he felt like a king. But life isn't always about playing games. Sometimes we have to face reality to find the secret to success. One afternoon, the bright energy David usually had was gone. He walked into his house, dropped his bag, and slumped onto the couch. He pulled out a math book, stared at the numbers, and let out a long, heavy sigh. He looked defeated. This is a feeling many of us know, the feeling of overcoming failure. His father, a kind and observant man, walked in from the garden. He saw his son's face, buried in a cushion. He sat down beside him and gently asked, "David, what is weighing so heavy on your heart?" David looked up. "It's math, Dad. I got a bad grade again." But then David admitted the real reason for his sadness. It's not just the grade, it's Matt. Matt was their neighbor and David's best friend. "Matt always gets perfect scores," David explained. "No matter how hard I try, I just can't seem to do what he does. Why is he so much better than me? Is it just talent versus hard work?" His father didn't scold him. He didn't tell him to simply study smarter. Instead, he stood up and poured a glass of water for his son. After David drank it and calmed down, his father smiled. "Come with me to the garden," his father said. "I have 3 lessons for you, but I won't tell you what they are. You have to learn them through 3 challenges. These challenges will teach you how to be successful." David was confused, but he trusted his father. "Okay," he said. "What is the first challenge?" "Invite Matt to play soccer with you tomorrow," his father replied. The next day was sunny and bright. David invited Matt to the field. Now remember, David played soccer every single day. On the field, he was fast, strong, and confident. He scored 3 goals effortlessly. But Matt stumbled. He missed the ball. He didn't know where to run. But they laughed and had a great time anyway. That evening, David ran to his father. "Dad, we played. I scored 3 times, and Matt wasn't very good." His father nodded. "Exactly. Look at this, David. Matt struggles with soccer, where you shine. But in math, he shines where you struggle." He looked David in the eyes. "We are all different. Just because someone blooms in one garden doesn't mean they will bloom in another. We all have unique strengths." That was lesson number 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. David felt a weight lift off his shoulders. He realized he didn't have to be Matt. He just had to be David. This is the first step to become the best version of yourself. "What is the second lesson?" David asked eagerly. "Tomorrow," his father said, "watch Matt closely. Don't look at his grades. Look at what he does with his free time to understand his daily habits for success." The next day, David became a detective. He watched Matt at school. He noticed something he had never seen before. Matt was always counting. He counted the stairs as he walked up. He calculated the change at the lunch counter. He even counted the petals on a flower. During recess, David ran home to report this. "Dad, he's always doing math, even when he doesn't have to." "That is the second lesson," his father smiled. "Matt is good at math because he practices it in small ways every day, just like you kick a ball every day. If you want to improve, you don't need to climb a mountain. Just start counting the petals." David smiled. He realized that success wasn't magic. It was just practice. This was the power of consistency.
Then came the final challenge. "David," his father said seriously, "I want you to study math tomorrow 3 times harder than you ever have before. Show me your self-discipline." David was determined. He sat at his desk for hours. He pushed himself. He forced his brain to work. But after 2 hours, his head began to throb.
His eyes felt heavy. Finally, exhausted, he fell asleep right on top of his books. His father woke him up gently for dinner. David looked up, ashamed. "I failed, Dad. I fell asleep. It was too hard." His father patted his shoulder. "No, David, you didn't fail. You learned the most important lesson. When you try to master something you do not enjoy, discipline feels like a heavy rock on your back. It makes you tired. But when you do something you love, like soccer, discipline feels light as a feather. That is how to find your passion." His father left him with one final thought. "If you want to be great, David, you have 2 choices. Either study what you love or learn to find love in what you study. That is the true mindset of a winner." David looked at his books differently that night. He realized that with the right mindset, even the hardest tasks could become a game he could win. And that is a lesson for all of us. Success isn't just about talent, it's about finding the joy in the journey. That is the best motivation for life. Thank you for joining us for this English story. Whether this is English for beginners or advanced English learning, we hope you enjoyed this English story for listening. Continue your English listening practice with us, and don't forget to keep learning English every day. See you in the next story.